Alright, so I figure I'm gonna just make some videos before I go through with this liver donation for my grandmother. This is me before it happens. Let's get an update once we're done. Alright, it's a week before we get the confirmation on my surgery, and I'm just doing something that reminds me I'm not gonna be able to do it anymore. I load these paper tubes into my Canon here and print, and let's see if I can show you. They weigh like 30 pounds. Doesn't sound like a lot, but for 2 months to 6 months, I'm not gonna be able to lift them anymore. You know, this is my office. I print a lot of stuff. I got a whole corner full of old tubes that I've printed, old prints that I don't need. But soon enough, someone else is gonna have to figure it out.
This was the 64th day prior to my surgery. As you saw, I'm just in my office reflecting on my daily activities, realizing I probably won't be able to do everything normally after the surgery, and it was the case, but not for long. I quickly returned to work, and I was back putting my paper right in that printer.
All right, I got the approval of my therapist today. Well, I should say the evaluating therapist for the liver donation. So next Thursday is my primary checkups where they do all the EKGs and the scans for my body to make sure my liver is capable of being a donation. So things are progressing. I'm still being positive about it, and we'll see how it goes. So I just had my meeting with my liver specialist, the hematologist rather. He reviews my liver function and checks on my blood after we get the tests done on the 19th. Things went well. He feels, optimistic about the surgery, since I'm 28, young and healthy. Things typically go well. He did inform me that out of all of America, only 6,000 living donor applications have been done. Out of that, 6 people have died, and 2 have gone into acute failure of their liver afterwards. So the chances of my death or my liver failure seem very, very low. So that was reassuring. I appreciate him sharing that information with me. So I'll see you next time in New York City. Hello, in today's video, I go to New York City. I get an MRI and a chest x-ray. You'll see in the beginning, that's my dad and my stepmom. For the x-ray, I took off my clothes. The MRI, I had an injection. Time to get changed. High fashion. All right, just got the chest x-ray done. Wasn't nothing but a thing. Had me face it. Had me turn towards some cabinets over here so they could get a side view and a front view. Now we're on to the MRI. In this video, I go to New York City and get some blood tests. I also meet my doctor for the first time. And my results come back just that night, so I included them in this video. All right, we're here at the lab about to get 14 vials of blood drawn. I'll let you know how that goes. All right, the blood test went well. I'm in here with Audra and Dad now, and we're waiting to meet the new doctor, Dr. Benjamin Samstein.
Here you'll see I'm reviewing my blood test results with over a dozen data points checked to confirm I was healthy enough to donate. Most of these are for specialists to interpret, but I wanted to show you the kind of tests they run as a part of this process. And thank you so much for watching. Just another day. I got 21 left before my surgery, and figured I'd do a little driving video. This song immediately triggered me because it's like, wasted days, how many days have we lived to waste away? And man, I can't even express how much work has been stressing me out before this whole endeavor even begins. And even after, I know it's just gonna get more stressful, so I really hope I'm not wasting my days. Tell you, nothing will make you reflect on life like your own mortality. But I'm not watching my life just fade away. I'm gonna do whatever I can before I'm gone or laid up for too long to do anything worth it. All right, today's my final trip to the city. I have a blood test, a meeting with my surgeon, and a CT scan just to finalize the imaging of my abdomen so they can do a couple of practice runs before the actual day. So we got 19 days left, and then we'll finally be going through with this liver donation. So far, everything's gone well. All my results have come back fine. My grandmother's results have come back fine. So hopefully everything turns out well.
I'll see you down in New York City.
All right, made it down here with Dad. Going to the first test. I got the blood test first, and then we're gonna go meet the doctor, and then after that, CT scan. So I'll update you during the blood test. All right, we're getting ready for the blood work, and I got the same guy again, Tulio. So let you know how this goes. I think I'm probably getting the same amount of blood drawn, like 14 vials.
All right, it's time to meet the doctor. Another, just sit down and talk. So I'll throw the phone in my pocket and record it just like last time. Things have been looking good?
Yeah, I mean,
So
you
far?
gotta prove. There's always a chance that we'll decide, either because of your grandmother and the way that we're, safety is first, and so, the ability to see everything and make sure that we can rebuild everything. So about 10% of the time, when we go start laparoscopically, we decide to make an incision. All right, so we've done almost 90 laparoscopic cases, of which we've had about 10 of them. We need to make an incision. I'll emphasize, we close the bile duct, we close the artery, we close the portal vein. In your grandmother, we have to rebuild it.
Okay.
And so if you look at success rates overall, or leaks or complications, they're much higher in the recipients
Okay.
than the donor. Yeah, so the average recovery is 3 to 6 months.
Yep.
A hospitalization is, about twice as long. It's not that much, But if she has a bile leak or she has an infection, the most common thing that slows people down is that they get an infection. I just want to mention, because one of the biggest, challenges of donation is when the recipient gets sick, infections or something else. So the thing about your recovery is it's relatively fast. 4 to 6 weeks is a long time, but it's relatively quick. And as people get older, when they're 55, they tolerate the medicines at 1 degree. When they're 65 at another. When they're 75, they're more sensitive. We try to make the decision based on her having a good outcome and the anatomic simplicity for both of you.
Okay.
We want as simple as possible. That it's easier for you and easier for her.
Is this, obviously she's older, but is this the oldest patient you've done this to? That's just a question. Okay.
We've transplanted people into their late 70s.
Okay.
I think 79 is the oldest person. One of the challenges of age is that there's more, I would say, diversity among, 28-year-olds are almost all healthy. But,
Yeah.
some 74-year-olds are too old to have a liver transplant. All right, so this is a living donor informed consent. So Ellie's going to come by. We're going to do an electronic consent for the actual surgery. This is everybody who donates part of their liver. They ask them to sign this. All right. So I'm going to go over it. I'm going to read it.
Yeah.
It says at the end that I've had this read to me.
Okay.
I do think that this is an important part. So let's say we put the camera in, everything looks good. We start with your grandmother. Something doesn't seem right. There's a small chance. I mean, I think that the chance is about 1 in 300. I can't even remember the last time it's happened. It's been more than a decade. There are alternatives to living liver donation, such as deceased donation. Due to my donation, the recipient will receive a benefit in terms of their decreased risk of dying while on the waiting list. There's no medical benefit for my having this surgery. Okay? I, Lucas Parent, this basically says certify I'd like to proceed with the surgery, and that you told us all the information we need to know, and you're not getting paid.
Okay.
So
I sign here. I, Lucas Barrow.
yeah.
So she's still on the list at this time?
Yeah, she'll never be taken off the list. So if she got a deceased donor, we would proceed. Or we would call her and say, you have an offer, right.
Never know.
So this is laparoscopic hepatectomy for live donor liver transplant. Okay. So we will call you after we've reviewed the CAT scan to confirm the side and the approach.
Okay.
The whole purpose of all of this is to have this, everything kind of worked out
Concrete.
beforehand. And we know exactly what the, we have a 3D model. We know exactly how we're going to do the surgery before we do it.
You did blood work already?
Correct.
Great.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
think
that's
he's
all
all
you got.
done.
Yep, Tulio. Great guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
All right, everybody, you heard it. It went well. See you next time. All right, we're at the imaging center waiting for the CAT scan. Should be about half an hour here in waiting, and then I'll update you before I get into the room. High fashion. I went for the front this time. All right, all the tests are done for the day. We're gonna get headed back home, and I'll update you guys when we get closer to the day of surgery.